I would now like to invite Ms. Escobari to begin with her opening remarks.
Great. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for hosting us and giving us the opportunity to provide an update on our efforts to manage hemispheric migration in a safe, humane, and orderly way. 2 years ago, at the Summit of the Americas, President Biden joined 20 of our partners from across the hemisphere in launching a bold new initiative, the Los Angeles Declaration on Migration and Protection, under the premise that together we can address this shared challenge impacting the entire region. And our coordinated efforts could be more than the sum of our parts. And my mission at the National Security Council is to lead the U.S. diplomatic efforts under this regionally driven initiative, working side by side with our partners. To that end, I am pleased to confirm that the United States will be joining our partners in Guatemala City on May 7th for the third Los Angeles Declaration Ministerial. As our high-level participation in the ministerial will show, President Biden remains fully committed to this collaborative approach, which continues to drive action across its 3 pillars. First, we are addressing the root causes driving people to leave their homes. It was a priority for President Biden when he was vice president, and it remains a priority now. The Biden-Harris administration's root causes strategy for Central America has helped people find opportunities in their home communities. Just in the last 3 years, our assistance has helped create over 250,000 jobs in the region, increase productivity and incomes for more than 60,000 agricultural producers. It has generated more than $500 million in new sales and helped keep in school more than 465,000 primary and secondary students. While we know the causes driving people to leave their homes are complex, we see this work is bearing fruit. We saw a 30% decrease in the number of Central Americans at the border from fiscal year 21 to fiscal year 23, and a double-digit decrease in Guatemalans and Hondurans' intentions to migrate when compared to 2021, according to the LAPOP survey conducted in 2023. And we are not doing this alone. We have united forces with Mexico, partnering with their development agency, AMEXID, to support at-risk populations in Central America together. Secondly, we are leading a historic expansion of lawful migration pathways to the United States and other countries, while supporting the regularization and integration of migrants throughout the region. Initiatives like the CHNV, Uniting for Ukraine, and temporary labor pathways allow people to migrate safely and legally. Our work with the governments of Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras have helped nearly triple the number of temporary work visas to over 28,000 in 2023, filling critical labor gaps here in the United States and allowing migrants to return to their families with new skills and resources to invest in their communities. President Biden has also rebuilt our refugee resettlement program, recognizing that it advances our national security, our economy, and our values as a nation of laws and migrants. Through our Safe Mobility offices, launched with our partners in Colombia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and Ecuador, nearly 20,000 individuals have been approved to come to the United States legally and safely, a 6-fold increase over the previous year. We know lawful migration strengthens our economy. Refugees and asylees contributed almost $124 billion to our economy from 2005 to 2019 per a recent HHS study. And again, we are not doing this alone. Our partners recognize the benefits of lawful migration and integration and have taken important steps. Earlier this month, Colombia announced that it will offer legal status to up to 350,000 additional migrants. Since 2021, Colombia has provided 10-year legal status to over 2 million, mostly Venezuelan migrants. These integration efforts have the potential to increase Colombia's GDP by 4.5 percentage points by 2030, according to the IMF. Brazil's Operation Welcome is also an impressive regional example of efficient and smart migration management. Brazil has welcomed over 500,000 Venezuelans since 2018 and matched migrants with labor needs all over the country. In a few days, we are looking forward to holding our first ever bilateral migration dialogue with Brazil to discuss expanding our collaboration on migration. Together, these collective efforts are helping us meaningfully improve lives, modernize our approach to irregular migration, and reduce the need for people to make the dangerous journey north, while recognizing the significant contributions of lawful pathways. Lastly, we are working with our partners on enforcement and humane management of borders across the region. We have taken additional steps to crack down on smugglers and traffickers, including by imposing visa restrictions on those profiting off of vulnerable migrants. And we're working closely with our Mexican partners, who have increased their enforcement efforts, including on rails and highways. Last week, on behalf of the President, White House Homeland Security Advisor Liz Sherwood Randall met with President Lopez Obrador to further strengthen our collaboration. This was her 10th trip to Mexico just in the last year and a half. Our joint efforts have contributed an almost 40% decrease in encounters of irregular migrants at our southwest border during the first 3 months of this year compared to the 3 months immediately prior. This is the spirit of the Los Angeles Declaration, a shared belief that together we can respond to the historic challenges of immigration in a humane, orderly, and safe way that advances our shared interest. We look forward to a productive ministerial on May 7th to make further progress, and we thank Guatemala not only for hosting, but for its continued regional leadership. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.